welcome to Compulsion 2013, and here with me is Paco Garcia. I probably pronounced that completely wrong.
No, that's actually quite all right. Yeah, that's
you're a
good.
pro. And you run GMS Magazine, as well as about 892,000 other things in your spare time.
Thereabouts, yeah. That's about the right even number of things I can run, yeah. yes, I do. Been doing that for about 3 years.
So Paco, I've got you sitting still for 5 seconds before you leave Compulsion. For those who may have want more information about what GMS Magazine is, why don't you kind of give them kind of a quick elevator pitch almost?
The elevator pitch, GMS Magazine is a website that I started 3 years ago, and basically it has a huge amount of reviews. We cover role-playing games because that's my passion, that's what I really like. We cover board games because I also like them, but I don't know as much about them, but I'm learning a lot.
Cool.
We cover card games, and we're going to be doing an awful lot more Magic the Gathering in the near future, thanks to the great guys at Magic Madhouse.
Cool.
We do a little wee bit of word games, but not an awful lot. And we also have our own very own podcast, where we get interviews with people, weirdest bunch of guys and girls who come to talk to me for reasons I don't understand. We have debates about board game design, role-playing game design, and we have a YouTube channel where we do interviews at conventions, and we do unboxing videos as well for any kind of board games or role-playing games. So it's a bit of a holistic kind of website that does a little bit of everything, nothing particularly well.
Okay. Obviously you've got this massive passion for role-playing games, and that's what made you start GMS Magazine?
Partly, yes. I'm going to be very honest, and I know this will make me sound very snobbish, but one of the reasons I wanted to create GMS Magazine and subsequently the podcast is because I took a look at what was around. I thought, well, a load of rubbish. I want to try and do it better than other people can. And that was what really inspired me to say, right, I'm not seeing a website that I like. I'm going to make a website that I would like to see.
Yes.
And that's what really kicked the ball rolling 3 years ago.
And wow, I mean, GMS Magazine has grown exponentially since then, and you do a lot of convention coverage now.
I try to do it, yes, because I think although I read a huge amount of books, and I have been blessed by an awful lot of really wonderful contributors to the site. I have this god in the making who is Theo Graff. It's just incredible, and that man is awesome. And I have Dr. Reddy, who is actually wonderful, and Jen. But I wanted to be closer to actually the scene. It's all very good to see everything, from the balcony. But where's it to be inside? It's all very good to talk to people on the Skype or the phone or what have you. But where's it to be in there, not just with the people who make the games, but with the people who actually play them. So I am trying to go to as many conventions as I can, which is quite tricky because it's an expensive thing to do, believe it or not.
Yes, I can believe that entirely. And so, tell us a bit more about the podcast. I mean, what's its regularity? Where can people find it as well as the website?
Everything is centralized in gmsmagazine.com. The podcast doesn't have a regularity. The podcast has an irregularity. The reason for that is because I did try to have a fairly inflexible format, whereas I will have one debate piece, one interview, and then a post-interview debate with my co-hosts. I had two difficulties with that. One is that the podcasts were getting really long. Everything was getting over an hour and a half. And secondly is that because many people are the interviews are about Kickstarter projects, although I try to balance and not have all Kickstarter and not have no Kickstarter at all. And I had to wait after the interview for my co-hosts to be available. It made it very difficult. So currently, I'm basically releasing anything and everything as it comes. So if I do an interview on a Sunday, by Tuesday or Wednesday, hopefully it will be out, or by Thursday the latest. The aim being that my co-hosts can listen to it, so we can talk about it in the following podcasts. And if it is linked to a project or a release of a product, it doesn't have to wait. It can be out there to help as much as possible.
Cool, awesome. And I guess the long and short of it is, what are your next steps for GMS Magazine? I mean, you've reached this point, which is just amazing. I mean, you're not at your peak yet. So what's next?
Next, I need to devise a time warping formula.
Yes.
So I can have more time
Yes.
to do the stuff I want to do. I do have a couple of projects in the pipeline.
Yeah.
One of them is to do with video, and I cannot really say too much about it, not just yet. That's one thing I want to do. And the other thing is I want to branch into helping people who need any kind of publishing input, not from the point of view of me putting the money or doing the publishing, because I can't, but helping them with the art direction, helping them with, look, these are the people to contact. If you need illustration, these are the guys who would help, or this is what you should be doing. The Kickstarter, he or she can help.
Yeah.
And offer that not as a paid service, because I don't really give a monkeys about money, but as another means to help the community, to help the people out there who want to become designers and publishers.
Cool, awesome. And what have you thought of Compulsion this year?
I was very, very pleasantly surprised by the whole. I always have, whenever I go to a convention, I always have very low expectations.
Yes.
I always imagine that it's going to be very poorly run, that the whole thing is going to be a disaster, that people are going to be unpleasant, and quite frankly, could it be any further from the truth? The organization has been lovely. There's always been somebody around if you needed to ask them questions. There's always somebody being able to grab you and say, right, come here and I'll take you where you're meant to be going. The whole thing's been brilliant. People have been really friendly. The location is lovely. The building is really weird and quirky and strange,
Yeah.
but it's so charismatic. It's so nice. I'm thinking of making this a regular event from now on. I really have enjoyed it.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.